Hence, the holding period should be could be longer for the person, and after that, I think there should be some recovery. So it is actually tied up with not only the Indian auto industry but also the global auto industry. So there's nothing wrong with the management quality as and the business quality, but yes, because of global exposure, the company has not been performing. So the client may have to hold it for a much longer period.
All right. Vikas, before I move on to the next query, we've seen a lot of pressure in the markets today. When I was kind of anchoring 2 o'clock, I realized that, there could be some recovery in the benchmarks, but then they slid to around 0.5% lower when the markets closed. The broader market's seeing a lot of pressure. Small cap 250, mid cap 150, both down about more than 2% today. How do you read markets at present, and what should be the next course of action, let's say on Monday?
If you look at the week on week, the market was in continuous pressure during the whole week, and for the whole 5 days, Nifty has declined. So Bank Nifty was the major culprit. If you look at Bank Nifty, it continued to witness strong underperformance, and it declined by more than 5%, one of the largest week. So Nifty has some silver lining near to those previous month, November month low of around 23,250, 23,300, from where we witnessed some amount of bounce back. But again, on the higher side, unless until we do not cross this 23,800, 24,000 band, the weakness would continue to persist. No doubt, silver line in IT sector recouped some of the losses in terms of Nifty, but the broader market continues to remain weak. So if we break 23,200 levels in the next week, then we could see further witness and corrective action near to 22,800 to 22,500 levels.
All right, now with that, let's go to the first caller on our show today. Virendra is calling us from Chandigarh. Hi, Virendra. How can we help you?
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. Please go ahead with your query.
Yeah, see, I have 20 shares of MCX.
Right.
I bought these in lots of 5 and my average cost is about 4,010.
Right.
I'm still making 40% profit, but in the last 1 month, it has lost about 1,000 rupees.
Yes.
So I want to know whether I should quit or retain. And if I can retain, can I add at this price?
All right. So you're getting, so you want to know a short-term outlook on MCX. So Vikas, as I can see, the stock was down almost over 3% today. Currently, it's trading at 5,600 levels, and he has bought at 4,000 levels. So is it the right time to hold for another like 1 month or 2 months, or should he buy more, or should he sell at these numbers?
The investor is making good amount of profits at current levels. In the way the stock has been declined, we believe the stock could see further witness corrective action. It was the 200-day, which is still far away, near to 4,800, 4,900 levels. So there could be a slide of another 8 to 10% into the stock, because it has broken its crucial 100-day average and sustained in below. So we could expect some more corrective action. So it's better to book some profits and reinvest near to 4,850 to 4,900 levels.
That's the view coming in on MCX, but just let's shift focus from the queries to the US economic job data that has come out now. December unemployment rate stood at 4.1% versus estimate of 4.2%. December average hourly earnings rose 0.3% month on month versus estimate of 0.3%. So it is in line with the estimates, and the December non-farm payrolls rose to 2,56,000 month on month versus estimate of 1,65,000. So there's a huge uptick with respect to the non-farm payrolls in December. So that's the US economic data coming in. But moving on to the next caller, Ashok from Ahmedabad is calling in. Ashok, a very good evening to you. How can we help you?
Good evening, madam.
Good evening.
I have 100 shares of office space.
Okay.
At the rate of 642.
Okay.
Can it reach, madam, 1,000 within near future?
Okay. Ashok, I can hear you. Go ahead with your query.
But this office space.
Yes, I can hear you, Ashok. Go ahead with your query. Your query is on office space, yes?
Yes. Can it reach 1,000 in near future?
Okay. Vikas, I'll straight away come to you with this one. He wants to know whether the 1,000 level mark can be achieved by the stock in the near term or not. How does it fare on charts?
It would be difficult to look at because no doubt the stock had a good listing. It made a top near to those 1,000 odd levels in the month of October and also, and then it is on a continuous decline. So we believe the stock has made its attempt. It tried to move higher near to those 830, 840 odd levels, but again witnessing strong amount of corrective action. So it will be too difficult to cross those 830, 850 levels on an immediate basis. And on the downside, the stock can slide further near to 630 or to 600 odd levels over the next few weeks.
All right, so that's the view coming in on office space. Now we have a caller from Tamil Nadu. Hi, Murugagel. Murugagel, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, thanks for speaking to NDTV Profit. How can we help you?
I want to keep it going with going high or rate low.
I'm afraid you're not audible properly.
No, I have 500 per 14.5.
Yes. I have your query with me. So he's bought 500 shares of PC Jeweler at 14.5. So he's asking for a short-term view on it. So Vikas, how is PC Jeweler looking on the charts?
Recommend to exit because post stock split near to 10:1, the stock has seen a sustained amount of corrective action, and we believe there could be some more pressure on the downside. The stock can further slide near to those 11.5, 12 rupees, which is the 200-day average. So it's better to exit at current levels.
That's the view coming in on PC Jewelers. PC Jewelers, if you can pull up the 1-year chart, interesting one to watch out for. 6 months, it was up 128%. If we can also see the 1-year chart, there you go. 12 months, it's up 135%. It's one of those counters which has seen significant momentum in the past, 1 year, but it's now coming down from its, 52-week high. Moving on to the next caller, Abhirami from Chennai is calling in. Abhirami, a very good evening to you. Thanks for calling in. How can we help you?
Good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, I hold IRFC stock for 75 stocks.
Okay.
My buy price is 175, ma'am. I buy short term for this.
Okay.
Can I hold? What is the stop loss of this stock? Because going, I faced loss.
Right. Abhirami, are you an active trader?
Yes, ma'am.
Because, I think I've talked to you twice on the show this week, I believe, and all your queries are short term. So I was just wondering, do you actively trade in the stock markets?
Yes, ma'am. I daily trade for in option trading.
Oh, you do option trading. Okay. Why do you do option trading?
I want just, I know what is the market views goes on in Nifty, those on stocks. And maybe I little bit I do the stock option also, ma'am.
All right. Vikas, I'll come to you again. IRFC, how does it look on charts? One thing. Secondly, do you advise Abhirami to do options trading or you don't?
Well, in case of IRFC, the stock has witnessed good amount of corrective action. It's now almost down 35-40% from its all-time high. So there is some amount of silver lining support. So as she wants to keep a stop, she can keep a stop of around 126, 127 levels on the downside. On the higher side, we believe the stock has the potential to move towards 153, 155 on an immediate basis. In terms of options trading, if she's been very much versatile with the options reads and options pricing, then she can continue to do so, but it's very difficult to make money into one-sided options. So it's always better to use strategies, making bull spreads, 2-leg strategies or 3-leg strategies. So that would be a strategy to do, because using single leg option strategy would completely lose away the theta value on an immediate basis.
Right. So that's the view coming in on IRFC. Now we have a caller from Mysore. Vishwas is calling. Hi Vishwas, how can we help you?
Hi ma'am, good evening ma'am.
Good evening. Please go ahead with your query.
Ma'am, Shriram Finance 300 stock average 550 ma'am, average price
Yes.
short term ma'am.
Yes, because I can see that.
I think his buying price is 550 or 50. Can you confirm?
Yes ma'am, 550.
550. So he's not sitting on.
It's not, because Okay, so you're incurring a loss of almost 5,000 there. Vikas, coming to you on this, how is Shriram Finance looking on the charts? As I can see that it was down over 5% today as well.
Well, the stocks had a corporate action today with a stock split. So there's some amount of selling, more selling pressure was being witnessed as we have witnessed the broader market corrective action. But we believe the stock is in a good potential. We have witnessed good amount of corrective action from 640, 645 levels. So good 18-20% not has come into the large Nifty based stock. So the stock would witness some amount of bounce back. On the higher side, we believe the stock could move higher near to 580, 585 levels. So where he can put his profit.
Okay, so you're suggesting a hold on it?
Yeah, he should continue to hold at current levels.
All right.
All right. I think yesterday was the day for fundamental queries and today is the day for technical queries.
For technicals, yes. Absolutely.
All right. Moving on to the next caller. Partha Sarthi from Chennai is calling in. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. A very good evening to you. How can we help you?
Yeah, good evening, madam. I'm having 500 shares of HCC, bought at 46.35.
Okay.
What is the long-term prospect?
Long-term perspective. Was there any kind of study that you made while buying this company?
Yeah, it's a very old company. They are in the construction business. Recently, they have sold the Switzerland one subsidiary also.
Okay.
To focus on the core, and they got some projects also in the government projects.
What was your buy price?
46.35.
Sorry?
46 rupees 35 paisa.
46. Okay, 46 is his buy price, and the stock is currently trading at 34. So he's incurring a loss of around 6,000 odd rupees. You said you want a long-term view on this, right?
Yeah. 46 rupees 35 paisa.
Right.
All right. I'm just confirming. You want a long-term view on this, right?
Yeah. Yes.
All right. Narendra, I'll come to you on this one. Hindustan Construction is the counter. How does it look to you fundamentally?
See, again, at CC, we do not currently cover the stock, but on a sectoral basis, the sector we are currently a sectoral hold in this. So that is our view, sectoral hold, because we have seen that this year we have not seen so much of government capex and infrastructure spend. Although the sector is very good in terms of a lot of government infrastructure spending coming in, but the real spending is not happening from last few quarters. So until unless that picks up, the sector would continue to perform on a flattish manner. And I think from next quarter onwards, the government capex should also increase. So I think the waiting period should be at least 1 quarter for the sector to pick up.
Vikas, quickly, how does it fare on charts?
So I agree with Narendra because we believe the stocks has witnessed good corrective action from the highs of 54, 55. It is near to strong monthly 21-month support average. That should hold on, and we could witness some amount of bounce near to 41, 42 over the next 3 to 4 months.
All right. So that's the view coming in on HCC. Now we have a caller from Bengaluru. Hi, Pradeep. How can we help you?
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Please go ahead with your query.
Madam, I have Suzlon shares, 100 shares of Suzlon.
Right.
I bought at ₹6 50 paisa.
All right.
Can I hold or sell? Please confirm.
You've bought it at very good levels there, as I can see that you're sitting on a profit of almost 4,000, almost 5,000 there. But for the long-term view, so Narendra, how are you looking at Suzlon Energy's performance in the future?
I think we have a buy rating on this stock, and the stock is currently. I think he can continue to hold it. We have a current target of around 80 rupees or something. So definitely with 32% market share, and the wind turbine and renewable energy is one of the leading focus sectors for the government overall, and there are a lot of scope for new installation for next 3 to 5 years. So I think he'll continue to hold for the long term, and currently we have a target of 80 rupees for the next 12 months.
Right. Mahima?
All right. So that's the view coming in on Suzlon. Moving on to the next query. Daji from Oman. Okay, this is again on Suzlon. So Daji, I hope that answers your query on Suzlon. Let's also take a technical view quickly. Vikas, Suzlon, how is it faring on charts?
Along with the broader market correction, the renewable energy space has also taken a good knot. Suzlon is now again back to those 54-55 support levels from where weakness of good bounce and to 71-72. So we expect that 51-52 should hold on the downside. So we can continue to hold on for a move near to the 200-day average or the 63-64 band.
All right, that's the view coming in on Suzlon. Hold is the view from Vikas. Swarna from Hyderabad is calling in. Swarna, a very good evening to you. Thanks for calling in. How can we help you?
Yeah, hi. So I would like to understand, I'm holding KPI Green 137 shares at an average price of 524. So I took this stock before bonus. Like I just started my investment. So recently have started and I took recently even maybe around December.
Okay.
Before the bonus has been given.
Okay.
So I wanted to understand whether, like right now, it is trading at lower circuit today. So I wanted to understand whether I can hold. I am a long-term investor. I can hold for 1 year or more.
Right.
But I wanted to understand whether I can. Are the fundamentals are good for this so that I can hold?
Okay. So Anna, since this is your first investment, first of all, congratulations on that. Congratulations on starting your investment journey. Any specific reason as to why you bought KPI Green Energy?
I have other stocks also. I'm trying to explore with different sectors, and this is not the only stock I have in my portfolio.
Got it.
But so because it is renewable and it is under power sector, it's a construction industry, right? So I thought it would be a good bet, and I saw a lot of orders coming in while I came in. In your NDTV, I saw know your stock related.
Know your company, right? Understood.
Yeah,
understood. Got it. I think Know Your Company is an excellent show to watch on NDTV Profit. If you want to analyze a company inside out from A to Z, Know Your Company is the show to go to. So do tune into NDTV Profit at 11:30 if you want your company to get analyzed. But yes, moving on to Swarna's query. Narendra, I'll come to you on this one. KPI Green is the counter. How does it look fundamentally and what should she do?
KPI Green specifically, we don't have any recommendation on the stock, but since we are very positive on renewable as a sector, and if you talk about the internals of the company has a very good order book. It is holding about almost 2400 megawatt of order book in hand, which is evenly split between self-independent power producer as well as CPP. So the growth wise, if you see, order book is very healthy. So the prospects look good for the company. Both the sector tailwind is there, as well as the order book is also very strong for the company. So fundamentally, the company is okay to hold.
Okay, so that's the view coming in on KPI Green. Now we have a caller from Bengaluru. Hi, Chetan. Thanks for speaking to NDTV Profit. Good evening. Please go ahead with your query.
Ma'am, Astral 30 stock. Average price 1919. 3 months in the consolidation, ma'am. Buy and seller hold, ma'am.
Right. So you're looking for a short-term view on Astral?
Yes, ma'am.
And when did you buy it?
Ma'am, 30 stock.
No. When did you buy it?
1919 stock average price.
All right. So I'll get you a short-term view on Astral. Vikas, as I can see, if I look at the last 1 month's performance, so it has been down over 15%. Today it was slightly up. So do you see Chetan holding it for another 1 or 2 months because he's asking for a short-term view on it?
Yeah, if you look at, no doubt the stock has declined pretty sharply over the past few months. In fact, it has declined from the highs of 2450 to 1594, 1595. But some silver lining and green shooting has been happening, because if you look at the RSI has been completely oversold and it is crossing its daily averages on the higher side. So we believe the stock could see some amount of bounce back. near to 1730, 1750 odd levels. So that would be an ideal point. So we can continue to hold on to the stock. We have a positive view.
All right. Umesh from Kerala is the next caller. Umesh, a very good evening to you. Thanks for calling in. How can we help you?
Hi, good evening.
Good evening. Go ahead with your query.
My query is with SBI Life.
Okay.
So I have 100 shares at 1882.
Okay.
I'm looking for a long-term view. So I'm thinking of whether of hedging the position with put options.
Okay. Okay. If you're thinking of hedging the position with a put option, then I should probably go to the technical guest and not the fundamental guest.
Yep.
Okay. Vikas, not sure if you, track the derivative space as well. But his query basically is that he has SBI Life and he's incurring a loss of 40,000 odd rupees. And he wants to know whether he should hedge his position or not.
So if you look at the whole insurance space is witnessing some amount of relative strength and positive in the market. So if you look at during the week when the markets were broadly correcting, insurance space stocks have witnessed good amount of move. So we believe SBI Life would again bounce back near to 1580 to 1630 odd levels. So that would be a good 5-7% of move we expect. And plus the budget is also slated on 1st of February. So there could be some announcement with respect to the insurance sector, which would gain momentum. Now, in case of hedging, he is just holding 100 shares. The lot size would be, I believe, more than 400 to 500 shares. So his hedge total holdings would be only very less compared to the whole lot size. So he would be taking undue exposure into the taking a put option. So it's better not to avoid it. If he is holding the whole contract value of the shares, 400, 500 shares, then I would suggest to go for a put option as a hedge.
All right, so that's the view coming in on SBI Life. Now we have a caller from Mumbai. Hi, Sukesh. How can we help you?
Hi, good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
My query is, I bought DCAL, which is Dishman Carbogen, a year back, almost a year back, at the price of 264.
Right.
And it has crossed my price also almost a year now.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure whether to hold it or whether to sell it.
Because I can see it's hovering around the same price. So Narendra is holding Dishman Carbogen for another 1 year advisable?
See, we don't have any coverage, hence we don't have any recommendation on this particular stock. But sectorally, the sector is performing very well, especially the companies which are operating into the domestic markets, and even the US market also seems that price correction has been done and dusted, and now the upside is remaining. So gradually, we would see a lot of new approvals also coming in into the pipeline. So overall, the sector is performing well. So from a sector per se, you can continue to hold if you can.
And Vikas, if you had to say anything on the short-term outlook on it?
Short-term tendency starts have turned weak because if you look at the pharma sector, which was been holding on, has witnessed good amount of corrective action today, and we expect some further more corrective actions. We believe as it has been trending, it is underperformed throughout the whole 1 year. So we should witness some more corrective action near to 30 to 35 odd levels.
All right, that's the view coming in on Dishman Carbogen. The next counter that I think we are looking for is Spandana Sphoorty. Avinash from Karnataka is calling in. Avinash, a very good evening to you. How can we help you?
Ma'am, hi ma'am.
Hi.
I have a 50 shares of Spandana Sphoorty.
Okay.
At the rate of 450.
Okay.
And I want to time 3 to 4 months.
Okay. Avinash,
what is the?
Okay. Go ahead.
What is the time to I have hold? How much time?
Okay. Avinash, I just wanted to ask one thing. Did you buy Spandana Sphoorty when it was on the rise? The last 2 days?
Right, ma'am. 450.
Yeah.
Last 2 days, ma'am.
Last 2 days, yes. Vikas, 2 to 4 months is his time horizon. We saw a good amount of profit booking today in Spandana Sphoorty, but the last 2 days it was on a roll. What do you make of this on the charts?
It was just a dead cat bounce because if you look at the structure continues to remain weak, not only in case of Spandana Sphoorty, across all the microfinance companies. Some volume participation has taken place, but the way the stock has again declined, So there may not be some major price correction, but some more time correction and it is to be needed for the stock to outperform. So we believe if we, as it was down today 10%, if he gets an exit and a bounce at 425, 430, that would be an advisable.
All right, so that's the view on Spandana Sphoorty. Now we'll have to slip into a short break. Keep sending in your queries on WhatsApp and call in. We'll be right back for Ask Profit. Stay tuned to NDTV Profit.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What's the picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know your company, powered by NDTV Profit's research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers. Know your company at 11:30 a.m. Monday through Friday, only on NDTV Profit.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What's the picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know your company, powered by NDTV Profit's research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers. Know your company at 11:30 a.m. Monday through Friday, only on NDTV Profit.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What's the picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know your company, powered by NDTV Profit's research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers. Know your company at 11:30 a.m. Monday through Friday, only on NDTV Profit.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands.
Welcome back. You're watching Ask Profit. We are joined by Vikas Jain on the technicals and Narendra Solanki on the fundamentals. For viewers who are just tuning in, you can ask all your stock-related queries on the number that is flashing on your screen. You can either call us or WhatsApp us. So moving on to the next caller for the day, Ramanathan from Chennai is calling in. Very good evening to you, Ramanathan. How can we help you?
Yeah, good evening, team. I'm Ramanathan from Chennai.
Yes.
See, I have a fundamental question. This is with Trump coming in on 20th. How do you foresee pharma sector in the short term, and with the dollar rates also fluctuating or increasing, how do you look at the banking sector?
Okay. Narendra, I'll come to you on this one. Not very sure with respect to, what his question was, because he said 20th. I don't know why he said that. But irrespective of that, pharma and banking are the two sectors that he wants an outlook on. What do you reckon of this, and what are the top picks in that sector?
First, coming to the banking sector, as we are at the cusp of rate cycle turning towards rate cut, So we are going to see first rate cut maybe probably in Feb or maybe in the next, but it's not sure. But definitely we are going to see the rate cuts cycle coming in from for India. So right now we have to see how the banks are doing the business right now. So what we are seeing is that the unsecured portfolio of banks have been seeing some kind of a distress, and gradually the kind of NPS, the worry of NPS rising from that segment is rising. And on the other hand, if you see the credit and deposit growth rate, so deposit the growth rate has been falling behind the credit growth rate, which is putting pressure on cost of capital on a lot of banks. So overall, the smaller banks and NBFCs, especially the microfinance companies, might be facing tough challenges going ahead for at least a quarter or two because of these two issues. Hence, it is better to be aligned with the larger banks in order to tide away the initial fallback of rate cut cycle, as well as growing NPAs from the unsecured lending portfolio. So if you are able to tide off with this, then I think the overall medium to long term, the banking or the financial as a sector is going to continue to grow with the similar growth rate of Indian economy, because Indian economy is also expected to grow around 7 to 6 to 8% for a very long term. So those prospects are very good for medium to long term. Initially, you just need to be aligned with the large banks. And now coming to the top banks, Axis Bank is one of our preferred picks amongst the top banks, along with the SBI if you want to prefer the PSU banks. So SBI and Axis Bank are our two top picks in the banking sector. Now coming to the pharma sector, in pharma sector there are basically two verticals you want to segregate into it. One are the companies which are manufacturing the generic drugs or branded generic and selling branded generic drugs, and the second vertical is the companies which are doing CDMO, which are offering CDMO and kind of research services. So both these sectors are very good, especially we like CDMO offering companies. So the companies which are offering CDMO services, you can go into that. And the overall pharma sector, I think it has been performing very well gradually, especially focusing on the domestic business side. The companies which are doing majority of their business in India are very good companies. So currently we have our top picks in Dr. Reddy's and Divi's Labs. We like both these companies very much. So these are our topics in this pharma sector.
All right. Now we're getting a caller from Bengaluru. Hi, Sanjay. How can we help you?
Hi, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Go ahead with your query.
Ma'am, KPIT Technology.
You're right.
137 world, ma'am. Average price 1373, ma'am.
Yes.
Hold or sell, ma'am. 3 month period.
Sanjay, actually we've already taken KPIT Tech, but I'll get you.
I think he has a question on IRIDA, if I'm not wrong. Did you mention IRIDA, Sanjay?
No. First time.
Okay. So if not KPIT, because we've already addressed that query, any other stock that you're looking for in terms of knowing a view on technical or fundamental?
Ma'am, tell me.
Other than KPIT, is there any stock that you would want to know about? We've already addressed KPIT.
No, ma'am. Only KPIT Tech.
Only KPIT. Okay. You want a short-term view or a long-term view?
Short term, ma'am. 6 months.
Okay. Vikas, quickly KPIT on charts again.
Look at KPIT has witnessed some amount of bounce back and is holding its 100-week average. In the way the IT sector has rebounded, so there's some amount of bounce cannot be ruled out. So we believe the stock could move higher near to 1460, 1470 levels. So we can continue to hold with a stop of around 1325 on the downside.
That's the view on KPIT Tech. Now we have a query from Radha Krishna. Is he on the line? Radha Krishna, can you hear me? Yes, please go ahead with your query. I'm afraid we've lost the line there, but we have the query. So he's bought 1,000 shares of rights at 290, and he's asking for both long-term and short-term view on it. So recently, rights arm, REMC, has collaborated with IRFC for financing power projects. And if we look at its last 6-month picture, so it has been down over 26%. and currently trading at 267 levels. So first, I'd like to come to you, Narendra, on the fundamentals. How are the fundamentals of RITES looking to you?
We don't have any coverage on the stocks specifically, but recently, if you see the overall business model, so earlier the company was doing business on a nomination basis, which the government has changed it and set the company to bid for the business on a competitive basis. So this is a change, shift in the business model of the company. However, the order wins, if you see, after the shift, the company has been performing. The order wins have been really good. From a broader perspective, the order wins perspective, the company is getting good orders. Now we have to see how the execution picks up. So so the investor can continue to hold. However, he may have to wait for a few quarters for order execution results to come.
All right. And Vikas, how is RITES looking on the charts?
Yeah, post the corporate action, it has been in a downtrend, but now it is holding its support, and we have witnessed bounce from this 263 to 65 from 3 charts. So it could see some amount of bounce back. It can continue to hold on.
Continue to hold on is the view coming in on RITES. Moving on to the next caller, Santosh from Bengaluru is calling in. Santosh, a very good evening to you. Thanks for calling in. How can we help you? Hi Santosh, I can hear you. How can we help you? Okay, I think we've seemed to lost his line, I believe. Okay, we have his question. REC is the counter. He's bought 337 shares, bought at 504 a piece. Yeah, I can hear you, Santosh. I can hear you, Santosh. No, I think we've again lost his line. No worries. Santosh, if you're hearing us, we'll be answering your query. REC Limited is the counter. 373 shares is his holding, and he's bought at 504 a piece. He wants a long-term view on this. Narendra, I'll come to you on this one. REC is the counter. What's the kind of long-term view that you have on the counter?
We don't have any recommendation on the stock as of now. And again, looking at the overall sector as well as the business model of the company, although from valuation perspective, the business may still be richly valued. But overall, since it is into execution of the government projects and it is into financing the electrification projects of the government, so broadly the infrastructure spending, if we see, is going to be continue to be the major factor for the government going ahead, and investment would continue to be there. So overall, the sector would continue to witness the growth. However, from valuation perspective, one has to be watchful of the valuations and has to take a call on this. So medium term, short to medium term, I'm not very positive on this kind of model right now.
Long term. Narendra, are you suggesting a sell or a hold on REC for long term?
I think he can switch. He can switch to another stock if he wants to be into the financial exposure into the financial space. So there are a lot of opportunities available in the financial space apart from this.
Okay, now we are getting a caller from Hyderabad. Hi, Mohan. Thanks for speaking to NDTV Profit. How can we help you?
Madam, good evening, madam. Good evening to all.
Good evening. Good evening. Please go ahead with your query.
Madam, I have a query about GMR Power and Urban Infra.
Yes.
Yeah, I have purchased 6 months back. Around my average price is 60 rupees.
Yes.
I have purchased 2,000. It went up to 140, 160.
Right.
Now it is coming down. 2 times it has come down.
Yes.
It is 116 something.
Yeah.
I would like to know, can I hold it for long term or can I take the profit and
all right, because I can see that you've entered at really good levels there, and you are sitting on a profit of 1 lakh rupees. So kudos to you on that. And yes, rightly said that the stock was almost 5% down today. So Narendra, what's your take on GMR Power? Should the investor stay invested or should he book profits?
We don't have a recommendation on this specific stock, but power sector, we are very positive sector on this, so we can continue to hold. Even if you look at the recent happenings in the company has been seeing a very good turnaround. And since the overall sectoral tailwind is also present and the company is also showing improvement in the business, so you can continue to hold.
And Vikas, if I ask a short-term view on GMR Power?
I agree with Narendra. We can continue to hold on because it is at critical support area and some amount of bounce back cannot be ruled out from current levels. So it would continue to hold for a higher target of 125 to 127.
All right. Hold is the view coming in from both fundamental as well as the technical guest on GMR Power. Paramjeet from Dharamshala is calling in. Paramjeet, a very good evening to you. How's the cold in Dharamshala?
Oh, cold, only cold.
I'm guessing so. It must be really cold in Dharamshala. Mumbai is pretty, heated up right now. But go ahead with your query.
I'm having 2,000 shares of Motilal Oswal.
Okay.
At the rate of 600.
Okay.
Want to know short-term and long-term view, ma'am.
Okay. Paramjeet, first of all, congratulations on the kind of profits that you're sitting on. You have, an unrealized gain of over 5 lakh rupees. So congratulations on that. Narendra, I'll come to you. Motilal Oswal is the counter. How are you seeing it?
We don't have any coverage on this specific stock. So don't have any recommendation per se for the long term.
Vikas, how does it fare on charts? Because he's sitting on 5.5 lakh of profit. Do you think he should book some profits and wait for the stock to see a further uptick, or what should be the strategy?
I would advise to put some partial profits, maybe 50% to the tune of it, what he's holding, and take some money at home and wait for some amount of decline. Because if you look at the whole broking space, a lot of stocks have been in corrective action. In specific to Motilal Oswal, we have witnessed some amount of higher dilution because in terms of it, the stock has gone for a stock split and bonus. So huge amount of liquidity has been penetrated into the stock. So some corrective action cannot be ruled out near to those 730 to 750 odd levels. So some partial profit should be suggested at current levels.
The view coming in on Motilal Oswal there. Now we have a caller from Vijayawada. Hi, MK Rao. How can we help you? Yes, good evening. Please go ahead with your query.
Good evening, madam.
Good evening.
I have.
Yes. Please go ahead.
Shares of TVS. I have 100 shares of TVS Srichakra, madam.
Right.
I have taken it in 2020.
Okay, and you bought it at 1,028, if I'm not wrong?
Yes. Yes, madam.
Yes.
1,028.
So firstly, I'd like to congratulate you. You're sitting on a handsome profit of over 2 lakh there. So yes, so you're asking for a long-term view?
Yes, madam. Long-term, medium.
Yeah.
But I want to now enter in PB FinTech.
I'm afraid we can only take one query.
I think he wants to know whether he should book profits and
no, that he's asking for another stock.
No. So he's saying that if he can book profits for this and invest in some other. Am I right?
Yes, madam.
Okay.
So yes, Narendra, coming to you, how are the fundamentals of TVS Srichakra looking like?
Again, we have no recommendation on this specific stock, but if you look overall at the tires industry, so domestic demand, both OEM demand and replacement demand, the outlook is very bright. However, the off-road tires domestic demand is pretty much decent, but the exports are a bit sluggish for the time being, and we have to wait for the exports to pick up. So from domestic perspective, we don't have any concerns as far as demand outlook is there, except the exports. So you can continue to hold, but may have to wait for some few quarters in order to the export environment to improve.
Vikas, and what is your outlook on it? Should he stay invested?
He can continue to stay invested, and in fact, he was thinking of to suggest from TVS Srichakra to Policy Bazaar PB FinTech, but I believe TVS Srichakra has much more higher potential to move up compared to Policy Bazaar, so it would continue to stay invested in TVS Srichakra.
Narendra, just quickly, to clarify, he said that can he book profits on TVS Srichakra because he's sitting on a handsome profit and enter PB FinTech instead? Is that the right strategy to adopt?
Yeah, for the timing can be done.
Okay, all right. So it can be done is the view coming in. I hope that answers your query, Mr. Rao. Moving on to the next caller, Dinesh from Mumbai is calling in. Dinesh, a very good evening to you. How can we help you?
Yeah, good evening, madam.
Yeah. Go ahead with your query.
I inquire about HFCL.
Okay.
I have got 5850 at the rate of 123.95.
Okay.
Mutual fund has increased equity in HFCL. Why the stock is getting down?
Okay. You entered the share because you saw that mutual fund bought a certain amount of stake in the counter?
Mutual fund ratio is also
increasing. Correct. That is why you bought the stock? Is
then
that the sole reason?
Why the stock is falling down and down?
Okay. All right. Narendra, I'll come back to you again. So what he's saying is that mutual funds are increasing their stake in the counter, but still the stock is seeing a downtick. How are you viewing this, first of all, and how is the counter looking to you?
See, first of all, we don't have any active coverage on this stock, hence we don't have any recommendation. But if you see, the business of the company is very order book driven. And recently we've seen that in telecom sector, a lot of execution has already happened regarding the implementation of the 5G, and right now only BSNL is doing large capex, and other companies like Jio and all have almost completed their capex. Vodafone is also undergoing some capex relatively. So there might be some demand related issues which may have been there. So that might be the case. Plus, as far as mutual fund holding is concerned, they have a very long-term horizon view, and they generally hold the stocks for more than 3 to 5 years, which is not generally seen in the retail investors. So he has, instead of tracking the mutual fund flows, he has to see the company business and align his holding period towards the performance of the business, whether the business would be performing within the period in which he wants to hold the stock or not. So if his holding period is less than, let's say, 3 years, and the company is expected to do well only after 1 or 2 years, then I think he should not look at those kind of stocks, and instead he should look at the stocks who are aligned with his holding, with anyone's holding period, and within that holding period, it is expected to perform. So likewise, if you would study, then that would be a better strategy.
Are you suggesting a hold on it?
No.
So you're suggesting a sell on HFCL?
He can switch.
He can switch. Yes. So with that, we have another caller from Bengaluru. Hi, Ali. How can we help you?
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Please go ahead with your query.
This is Ali from Bangalore.
Yes.
I bought 300 shares of FDC Limited.
Yes.
At the rate of 510.
Okay.
So I just wanted what is the fundamental and technical analysis?
Yeah, and when did you buy these?
It's been 3 weeks now.
3 weeks, so recent purchase. Okay, so I'll get you the long-term and the short-term view. Coming to you, Narendra, how are the fundamentals of FDC looking like? As I can see that in the last 1 year, it has performed well. It was up almost, in fact, over 21%. So what is your take on it?
Yeah, we don't have any active recommendation because we don't cover the stock. But the overall healthcare sector, especially pharmaceutical sector, has been performing really well. So he can continue to hold the company.
All right. That's the view coming in on FDC.
No, actually, he was also asking for a short-term view. So let's get Vikas's view also on it. Vikas, what do you have to say on FDC?
It can continue to hold on. It is a critical support area. And it from those support areas of 465, 470, it has witnessed a bounce in the month of November, December. So some amount of bounce cannot be ruled out. So it can continue to hold.
All right. So hold is the view coming in on FDC from, moving on to the next caller. Ankit from Gujarat is calling in. Ankit, a very good evening to you. And if you're from Gujarat and you're a Gujarati, kem cho?
બસ મજામાં છીએ. Good evening, team.
Good evening. What is your query about?
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you, Ankit.
Hello.
What is your query about?
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible, Ankit. Go ahead with your query.
I am holding 30 shares of Tata Steel at an average price of 148. And my time horizon is 1 to 2 years at least. So what should I do? Either I should sell it or to hold it.
Okay. Narendra, Tata Steel is the counter and he wants a long-term view on this. What's your view?
Definitely, he can continue to hold because steel is not only is a very important contributor to the infrastructure development, but is also if we see the latest government announcement, even in the budget also, we have been seeing some buzz around customs duty being imposed on some kind of a steel. Plus, if you see the overall capex plans of the company, so all the growth plans right from the company plus support from the government is there for this sector. So he can continue, surely he can continue to hold if he wants to hold for that long period in time. And definitely this would generate decent returns going ahead.
So hold on Tata Steel. Now we have one more caller from Andhra Pradesh. Hi Basha, how can we help you? Okay, so I think we've lost the line there, but we have another caller lined up. Hi Devesh, he's calling from Ahmedabad. Devesh, can you hear me? I think we've lost the line there as well. So first we have Devesh's query. He's asking whether it's the right time to enter Bajaj Housing Finance. He's planning to invest almost 1 lakh rupees. So Narendra, coming to you on the fundamentals, what do you have to suggest to Devesh?
Yeah. See, right now we don't have any specific coverage on Bajaj Housing Finance stock, but if you see housing as an overall sector has been a decent safe segment for the banks as well as various NBFC companies to lend to, because it falls under the secured housing finance secured loans. So slow and steady growth would definitely be there for the sector. And since right now we are into a turning point in the rate cycle, so there might be some short-term growth related issues. Otherwise, if you see medium to long term, the housing finance sector is well poised to grow, both in metro as well as tier 2 and tier 3 cities. We are seeing good growth in the overall housing finance sector. So medium to long term, we can continue to hold the stock.
Hold is the view coming in on Bajaj Housing Finance. Next caller, Dharmesh from Gujarat is calling in. Dharmesh, a very good evening to you. How can we help you?
Good evening, madam.
Good evening. Go ahead with your query.
Madam, I am a long-term investor and I am holding 250 shares of Lupin.
Okay.
Lupin Limited at the average price of 940.
Okay.
I wish to know about the long-term prospect of the company. I can hold for another 3 or 4 years also.
Okay. Dharmesh, congratulations. You're getting a profit of around 3 lakh rupees. Narendra, quickly, Lupin, how does it look to you?
Again, we don't have any recommendation for this stock, but you see the latest results. The latest results are better than the sectoral growth. The company has posted about 11% kind of growth in the latest quarterly result. While the sector has reported about 8%, so the company has beaten the overall sector growth. So you can continue to hold the stock.
Continue to hold stock is the view coming in on Lupin. But with that, we're completely out of time in this edition of Ask Profit. Vikas and Narendra, thank you so much for being with us on the past 1 hour. And thank you so much for giving us those insights. But with that, like I said, we're completely out of time on this edition of Ask Profit. Stay tuned to NDTV Profit for more news and updates on the other side.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What's the picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know your company, powered by NDTV Profits Research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers. Know your company at 11:30 a.m. Monday through Friday, only on NDTV Profit.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What's the picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know your company, powered by NDTV Profits Research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers. Know your company at 11:30 a.m. Monday through Friday, only on NDTV Profit.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What's the picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know your company, powered by NDTV Profits Research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers. Know your company at 11:30 a.m. Monday through Friday, only on NDTV Profit.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What's the picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know your company, powered by NDTV Profits Research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers. Know your company at 11:30 a.m. Monday through Friday, only on NDTV Profit.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What's the picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims?
Sensex 50 end week with 2% cuts. Most sectoral indices decline, led by Nifty Media, PSU Banks and Realty drag as well. IT remains the only sector which is unscathed, bucks trend and ends nearly 4% higher amid third quarter earnings. Dixon Tech's Executive Vice President Sunil Vachani clarifies that current lag on subsidies due under PLI 1.0 is more of a technical issue and that India is prepared to export $100 billion worth of electronic products. Commerce industry addresses unusual surge of November gold imports, clarify that silver and electronics data have also been revised. But why did this mishap in calculation occur? NDTV Profit breaks it down for you. Delhi Airport's 40-year-old Terminal 2 will be closed for 4 to 6 months in the next financial year to get a revamp. The refurbishment works are expected to be completed in September. US Supreme Court clears the way for President-elect Donald Trump's sentencing in his hush money criminal case. This deals him a setback as he prepares to begin the second term in office. At least 10 dead and whole neighborhoods destroyed as distraught residents flee amid ongoing wildfires across Los Angeles. National Guard troops have also been deployed to the area. Hello and welcome. Good evening. This is Profit 360 on NDTV Profit and I'm your host Malika Mishra. Along the next half an hour, we will bring you the latest on markets as well as national and international news. To begin with, metal and PSU banks have dragged the benchmarks down while the IT sector was the only one which dazzled. This comes amid TCS's Q3 results reigniting hopes, and my colleague Harsh is joining us with a detailed report.
Well, we've capped a tough week with a tough day today, and the Nifty was under pressure. We're off the day's lows for sure, maybe 100 points from the day's lows, but that doesn't really give any relief. Let's look at the intraday chart and you'll know why. Because we did see a bit of a bounce back, a recovery towards the flat line, which just didn't sustain, after which we saw the Nifty giving way, nearly 100 odd points lower, and pretty much an even keel in terms of where it ended from the high and from the low, pretty much in the middle. But that's on the Nifty. Where did the pressure come from? Let's pull up the contributors, because the IT pack really stood out across the board. In fact, you're looking across even broader markets, IT was the real standout today, and large cap IT after TCS's numbers. But the heavyweights, as well as the breadth of the market, just pulled the market one way. And let's look at the breadth. The advanced decline, that's the metric here, and look at it. 1868 declines to just 304, advances 6:1. So the breadth sharply in favor of the declines. While the large cap index was in some form or shape insulated, but you're looking at mid cap with a cut of 2%, the small cap with a cut of 2.5%, closing near the day's lows. And you look at the week gone by as well. The Nifty 50 saw plenty of pressure throughout the week, and of course closed today 0.4%, but 2.5% lower for the week, but more pronounced towards the mid cap and the small cap index. The mid cap index was down 5.5%, small cap index down 6.5% for the week gone by. Even among sectors, IT was possibly the only one which did decently well for itself given today's rally. 3.5% today, but you look at the week gone by, 1.7 odd% higher, which is positive. But you look at some of the other ones, the Nifty Bank, for example, 1.5% lower today. We saw 4.5%-ish kind of a cut on the Nifty Bank for the week gone by. So real pressure coming through. The largest laggard was the Realty Index, 8.5+% lower for the week. That's where some real pressure is building up. Sectors today outside of IT, pretty much all sectors under pressure. Realty was one of the top laggards today as well. You saw PSU Bank under pressure, 2.5% plus. Last off, the BSE 500 top gainers, top losers. And this is what really fascinates me here. Just if I look at the gainers, look at the number of Nifty 50 IT stocks here, except Delta Corp, PNG Health. Pretty much all the others are large cap IT. So it's led entirely by large cap IT, and this is the BSE 500 gainers losers list. So that's what really stood out. Among losers, some PSUs under pressure, REC under pressure due to Irida's numbers, and GIC also saw an 8% cut. So some real pain there if you're looking at the broader end of the spectrum.
Right, so a bad day for the markets, but not so bad for the IT. And also viewers, Brent crude oil hits $80 per barrel, the highest since October, the first time in fact. Let's also get you the fund flow picture this evening. While domestic investors continue their buying spree and buy equities worth 3,961 crore rupees, foreign investors offload shares for the 6th trade session and sell Indian equities worth 2,254 crore rupees. In the wake of TCS's Q3 earnings, my colleague Sajid spoke to CEO and MD K. Krithivasan, and here's what he had to say about the quarter gone by.
In the early part of the quarter, like we continue to see the same kind of prioritization of the programs. But as we went through, we realized a much better deal bookings, and also the quality of the deal bookings. And also we started seeing some discretionary projects, some revival of the discretionary projects. All these things put together, most importantly, very strong TCV, particularly in BFSI, in North America, in retail, which are the important verticals for us, important geography. All these things put together, and also some yearly conversations with our clients where we hear there could be a positive upward bias in the budget for next year. Like they're not frozen yet, still discussion, but there is a positive upward bias in budget is what we are hearing. All these things put together gives us a comfort that CY25 can be better than CY24.
India's November industrial output grows at 5.2%, the highest in 6 months, while manufacturing grows at 5.8%. Pallavi is here with the key takeaways.
The IIP figures have come in as a positive surprise. They've come in at 5.2%. This is for the month of November, and this is compared to 3.7% that we had seen in October. Now, IIP growth is actually led by manufacturing this time around, which has been fairly tepid in recent months. Manufacturing grew by 5.8% for the month of November. This was compared to about 4.4% growth that we had seen in October. Mining continued to remain tepid, growing by about 1.9%, while electricity generation grew by 4.4%. Now, if we look at the use-based classification in IIP, there again quite a few positive signals that we can see in the November print. Now, capital goods grew by 9%, while infrastructure or construction goods grew at 10% in November. Consumer durables also showed strong growth at 13.1%. Consumer non-durables was flat, growing by just about 0.5%, while primary goods growth was at 2.7%. So all in all, this figure was definitely above what was being expected, possibly because of the festive and wedding season demand which we had seen across several high frequency indicators in that quarter. What we're going to have to watch out for is whether this growth continues in the coming months.
Right, Pallavi, thank you for giving us that update. Now let's also take a look at some global market action. European markets traded lower on Friday due to the ongoing turbulence in the UK's debt markets, and Wall Street also opened lower due to the latest non-farm payrolls reading. Job growth in the United States came in much stronger than expected in December, possibly providing the Federal Reserve less incentive to cut interest rates this year. Non-farm payrolls surged by 256,000 for the month, up from 212,000 in November. The unemployment rate edged down to 4.1%, 1/10 of a point below expectations. This job growth came from the familiar sources of healthcare, which was up 46,000, leisure and hospitality up 43,000, and government, which was up 33,000. This also caused the US Treasury yields to jump to their highest level since November 2023, with a 10-year Treasury yield adding nearly 10 basis points at 4.778%, and the 30-year Treasury yield rising to 5%. Also, speaking of crude, Brent crude has hit the $80 per barrel mark, first time since October, as I mentioned. This is on the back of reports of more sanctions from Russia. Now, India is prepared to export $100 billion worth of electronic products. This is what Dixon Tech's Sunil Vachani has highlighted in an exclusive interaction with us. Vachani is also optimistic on India and its growth for the next 25 years. Listen into a slice of that conversation.
I think if you look at the from the industry's point of view and the country's point of view, there is no doubt that we are sitting on a very large opportunity in the country and in the industry. And the opportunity now is to make India the next hub for manufacturing electronics, appliances, and then mobile phones, not only for the domestic market, but for the world. This is also a time when a lot of countries, a lot of buyers are looking at an alternative to our neighbor. And if I can say, the next 25 years belong to India. This is India's time. This is our time. I would also like to add that I think if we look at the Make in India program, it's been a huge success. Almost 15 years back, our Honorable Prime Minister gave a call that we need to make India the next hub and we need to focus on Make in India. And I think in the last few years, we have seen that there has been a tremendous growth in the manufacturing of ICT products. There was a time when we were importing almost 90% of the mobile phones sold in India. And today, we are not only producing for the domestic market, but we are producing for the world. We are also looking at a very ambitious target for exports of electronic products of almost $100 billion, and also fulfilling our Honorable Prime Minister's vision of a production of almost $500 billion in the country, including exports. Now, after the success of the PLI that was introduced for mobile phones and the PLI that has been introduced for various sectors, we now need to ensure that this success that we have achieved in the last few years is sustainable. And the way that it can happen is by now investing in design and now investing in backward integration and investing in creating a very strong and vibrant component ecosystem.
On the sidelines of SEBI and NISM's two-day event, Samvad, my colleague Agnidev caught up with Niti Aayog's Vice Chairman, Suman Beri, who highlighted India's financial needs and how it can achieve it. Listen in to that exclusive conversation.
It wasn't just the capital market, Agnidev. Well, thank you for the opportunity. It's unusual for the Vice Chairman of Niti Aayog to address a group in the capital markets. The point I wanted to make was that India has large financing needs coming up because of multiple transitions. People talk about climate change, but India is also urbanizing quite quickly. That takes money as well. And as the chairman of SBI pointed out, which I totally agree with, we're going to have to raise our investment rate by about 2.5 percentage points of GDP. The question is, where will that money come from? There wasn't too much discussion of money coming from abroad. I think that was perhaps an omission. But much of the money is going to have to be raised domestically and from domestic savings. And I think we are at a very fortunate position where both our banking regulator, the Reserve Bank, and our capital markets regulator, SEBI, have earned the respect of the rest of the world. And we have, therefore, an opportunity and a choice to blend both what the banks can do to raise money and what the capital markets can do to raise money. And so I think that's the reason why this is of interest to Niti Aayog.
Quite recently, S.N. Subramaniam, chairman of Larsen & Toubro, sparked controversy by advocating for 90-hour work week. We spoke to Harsh Mariwala of Marico, Manish Sabriwal of Team Lease, and Sanjeev Bhikchandani of Info Edge about their views on the issue. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
If you look at the youngsters who join your organization at a young age, for them, work-life balance is a very critical component of their life. And I've seen that some of the youngsters, they refuse to take any calls or refuse to budge, and they want to work only on a certain fixated time. Of course, a lot depends on the kind of business one is in. For example, with businesses with project deadlines, one will have to stretch. But to do it on a perpetual basis is wrong,
And an advice or an exhortation to work harder. Hard work is rewarded. Hard work, skills, brains are not enough. Hard work is very important in success. So I wouldn't take it literally. I think it was just advice to work hard, which is always good advice for everybody.
He was giving a message that look, mehnat karo. फल मिलेगा मेहनत करना अच्छा है. Okay, now whether it's 90 hours, 80 hours, 70 hours, 60 hours, that's not the point. The point is you got to work hard if you want to get somewhere in life. I don't think we can argue about that. If you want to be this clock watcher who's saying, it's 9 to 5 only, 40 hours only, never mind if work gets left over, never mind if deadlines are not met, it doesn't matter. That probably will not work in a high performance private sector organization if you're at the management level.
Delhi Airport's 40-year-old Terminal 2 will be closed for 4 to 6 months in the next financial year to get a revamp. Sessa is joining us with more on this. Sessa, what's happening with Terminal 2?
The Terminal 2 of Delhi Airport, which was built way back in 1986, is set for a major overhaul, and for that the terminal will be shut for about 4 to 6 months between April and September this year. Now currently T2 is used only for domestic flights, and the revamping exercise will include upgrading and expanding the existing infrastructure to meet the anticipated surge in passenger traffic. The refurbished T2 will also have new passenger boarding bridges and aero bridges, which will have autonomous docking technology, the first of its kind in India. It will also have modern ceilings and skylight designs for a more appealing environment, besides advanced flooring and better road connectivity for passengers' convenience. T2 is being renovated after aviation safety regulator DGCA had flagged the need for it last year. Now currently the repair and restoration work for T1, a part of which collapsed last year in June, is ongoing, and it is expected to be completed this summer. Now the temporary closure of T2 is likely to cause minimal disruption, as the newly developed T1 will absorb the additional load.
Right, Sessa, thank you for reporting that to us. The commerce industry has addressed the unusual surge of November gold imports. The officials have clarified that along with gold, silver and electronics, data have also been revised. Why did this mishap in calculation happen? My colleague Rishabh is joining us with a detailed report.
Commerce industry has finally addressed the sort of unusual surge in the number of November gold imports as well as other imports, and they finally addressed why such a mishap happened. What they said was that this is due to a data transmission mechanism that was under migration for most of last year, and that is why it was due to double counting between these two portals that the government takes this export-import data from. What they also mentioned was that this data transmission mechanism migration is still not complete, and that is why revisions have been made to trade data starting April last year to November last year. So a sizable period there that has seen downward revisions in terms of the trade data coming in. And it's not just gold that has been revised sharply, it is also silver and as well as electronics data, trade data, that has been revised sharply downwards. What they also mentioned was that a panel now has been formed to look into this matter and to ensure that to ensure that consistent data is published going forward. Now this panel will have members from the DGCIS, which is the sort of the investigative arm of the Commerce Ministry, as well as CBIC, which is part of the Finance Ministry, and from the special economic zones where all this export-import data comes in from. So a special panel has been set, and they will now review the process in terms of which this data reporting happens, so that erroneous figures are not repeated in the future.
Right, Rishabh, thank you for giving us that report. Quant Group founder Sandeep Tandon has requested a settlement with market watchdog SEBI in a front-running case. My colleague Charu Singh has the details. Charu, tell us more about this latest offer by Sandeep Tandon.
the Quant Group founder Sandeep Tandon has approached the market regulator, Securities and Exchange Board of India, to settle the allegations that he was facing in the Quantum Mutual Fund front-running case. Now, the allegations include front-running, market abuse and insider